The story of Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy was born in Burlington, Vermont on November 24, 1946, to Eleanor Louise Cowell.
His early childhood was marked by instability, as his mother was unmarried and was sent to live with her parents. Bundy grew up believing that his grandparents were his parents, and his mother was his sister. Bundy's childhood was also marred by the absence of his father, whose identity remains unknown to this day. His mother later remarried and moved with Bundy to Tacoma, Washington, where she married Johnny Bundy. Bundy took his stepfather's last name and was raised as his son. As a child, Bundy was described as quiet and shy, with few friends. He was also an excellent student, with a keen interest in politics and law. However, his home life was troubled, with his stepfather allegedly physically abusing his mother and siblings. Despite his troubled upbringing, Bundy managed to excel academically and was accepted into the University of Washington. It was during his time at college that he began to display signs of criminal behavior, including theft and burglary. However, his crimes escalated in severity over time, eventually leading to his arrest and conviction for multiple murders. In the 1970s, the nation was terrorized by one of the most notorious serial killers in history, Theodore Robert Bundy, or Ted Bundy as he was commonly known. With his charming demeanor and good looks, Bundy was able to lure his victims in before brutally attacking and murdering them. Bundy's killing spree spanned across 7 states, with at least 30 women falling victim to his violent and twisted fantasies. He often targeted young and attractive women, luring them into his car or home with the promise of help or assistance. Once he had them alone, he would attack them with a variety of weapons, including blunt objects, knives, and even a crowbar. Bundy was a master of disguise and would often change his appearance to avoid suspicion. He would use aliases and even pretended to be a police officer to lure his victims into a false sense of security. He was also able to evade capture for years, leaving a trail of fear and destruction in his wake. Despite his outward charm, Bundy was a deeply disturbed individual. He reportedly suffered from dissociative identity disorder, which caused him to have multiple personalities and allowed him to compartmentalize his crimes. He often revisited the scenes of his murders, reliving the violence and feeding his sickening obsession. Bundy's crimes shocked the nation and sparked a national manhunt. He was eventually caught and brought to trial, where he famously defended himself and even charmed the jury with his wit and charisma. However, he was ultimately convicted and sentenced to death for his heinous crimes. The story of Ted Bundy and his reign of terror is a cautionary tale of the dangers that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most charming and seemingly harmless individuals. His crimes continue to fascinate and horrify people to this day, serving as a reminder of the darkness that can lie within us all. The exact factors that led Ted Bundy to become a killer are not fully understood, and there are many theories as to why he became one of America's most notorious serial killers. Some experts have suggested that his troubled childhood, including being raised by his grandparents and his belief that his mother was actually his sister, may have contributed to his violent behavior. Others point to his intense feelings of inadequacy and rejection, as well as his overwhelming desire for power and control, as possible factors. Bundy was also known to have an obsession with pornography and violent imagery, and it's believed that this may have played a role in his crimes. In addition, he was a master manipulator and often used his charm and good looks to lure his victims into a false sense of security before attacking them. Overall, it's likely that a combination of these factors, along with others that may never be fully understood, contributed to Bundy's descent into violence and murder. Catch up for more story. Catch up for more story. Catch up for more story.